Chinook.
Hey Maniacs!
Hey, Maniacs!
Welcome to Midsomer Maniacs, a new kind of episode.
A mini episode because we got a treat this week.
Season 21 of Midsomer Murders.
Episode 1, The Point of Balance.
This is a spoiler-free mini episode, so if you haven't seen it yet, don't worry.
100% spoiler free. We're not giving anything away.
But we are going to prime you for some maniac viewing style.
Absolutely.
This episode has just about everything.
It does indeed.
We've got competitive dancing, killer robots,
Check.
Canadians,
Check.
and John Barnaby's dad.
Okay, right off the top, I want to say it's pronounced Chinook.
It's not Chinook.
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 Okay,
It's a Chinook helicopter.
it's a Native American word, not a British word, and you pronounce it wrong. And the two people in the show that are supposedly Canadians, I didn't look. If they are actually Canadians, I'm taking away their citizenship.
Because it should be pronounced
Chinook.
the helicopter.
It's a warm, wet wind that comes over the mountains.
Chinook.
Yep. So give us one example of what watching a show is like with us.
Boy, so I've got a list of things that people should be on the lookout if they want to watch like a maniac.
Have a look. Watch like a maniac.
I have 5 of them.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Hit me.
Things to look for if you want to watch like a maniac. Rosa's cat's freaky feet.
The feet are that cat may be deformed or something.
Let's see if our listeners can be watchers
I
like maniacs to see Rosa's cat's freaky feet.
yes, absolutely.
3 signs that you're a nerd in Midsomer.
Power drinks,
Don't give them away.
and power drinks.
No, there's more than just energy drinks to being a nerd in Midsomer. Okay, so our first maniac viewing tip is to look for Rosa's cat's freaky feet. Our second one is to look for 3 signs that you're a nerd in Midsomer.
Okay.
Are you ready for the third one?
Also, I want to get this right off the top that I worked in the IT field. I worked in software creation field. I even teach robotics now. This is how none of that works. But, it's okay.
Okay. This third one, if you want to watch like a maniac, is this is a Mark-style maniac. Watch for a punny name for an Irish musical review. See if you can find it.
It's gonna be in there. I saw it almost right away and started chuckling, and I was like, "What is that doing in the background?"
And if they listen to this show and they know this is a Mark Maniac viewing tip, then it must be somewhere in print. You are looking for a punny name for an Irish musical review.
Yeah.
Number 4, can you name the dancer that is also an inspector?
Ooh, guest stars.
One of the dancers is also an inspector. Who is he and what show was he on as an inspector?
Absolutely. We recognized him right away, even though when we first see him, I got to tell you, he's got a lot of makeup on.
I was in a bit of a denial that it was who I thought it was.
He has some stylish lids going on there.
Yeah, glitter lids.
Yeah.
And finally, number 5, see if you can find what kind of pajamas middle-aged women wear.
Pajamas that middle-aged women wear.
I know, it's exciting, isn't it? It is Midsomer.
This is indeed Midsomer. So I want to ask you that. So look for those things while you're watching. We're prepping you. If you haven't seen the episode, if you have seen the episode,
watch it again, but watch it like a maniac.
Watch it like a maniac. We definitely had some interesting thoughts about this episode. I was very pleased to see Canadians actually in the episode instead of she went to Canada or she has a relative in Canada.
You can identify the Canadian man because he wears flannel.
And he has a mustache and he's a lumberjack. That's it's not a spoiler. He's not actually a lumberjack.
No, we've got no spoilers here.
So I wanted to ask you, because you've seen the episode, you know, this is Midsomer, so we love it. And actually, you would be proud of us, Midsomer people, because we have not binged all the episodes yet. We're going to watch them one at a time and do little mini episodes. So,
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about that. Because in the past, they have dribbled the episodes out.
Dribble.
As if we were addicts who could not control ourselves. And they
we're
would give
addicts.
us one episode a week or something like that. Or
You got any more of those Midsummers?
And now, this time, when we're planning on that, covering one new episode a week from these mini episodes, what do? They drop them all.
Sunday morning, I got up and I looked at my phone and I said, they dropped them all. Sarah knew exactly what I was talking about and exactly the problem that we were in.
I'm like, oh no! But we're going to stick to our midsummer diet and only watch one a week and give you one of these mini spoiler-free episodes every week.
Yep, absolutely. And I think this was, you know, it's Midsummer and it's new, so I'm loving it. And though I think there was a little too much going on, they tried to shoehorn a bunch of stuff in here. It still was a fine episode to me. There is a point where Barnaby's dad is in the episode as well.
A few times.
So this would be Tom Barnaby's uncle and John Barnaby's father.
And something that we haven't talked about because we haven't covered these later episodes yet in the regular podcast is Betty.
Yes, Betty is in this episode.
Oh, no. Say her name correctly.
Betty.
It's Betty Barnaby. It's
Betty
the worst name ever.
Needs to get on the Chinook.
When they named that little girl Betty,
Betty.
I was like, Betty Barnaby? Did they say that name out loud? Did they have a list of other names? I've named children. I've named 3 children. No, Betty Barnaby is a bad name.
I don't like the name either, but the actress who's playing Betty did a very good job in this episode.
All she had to do was sit at the table and eat.
Well, you know, sometimes that's tough.
We're not going to give it too much away here.
No, well, we'll tell you that Betty Barnaby is not the killer. We'll give that to you. I don't think it's much of a spoiler.
There's a little tip, you know, as you're watching the episode, trying to figure out, who did it? Who's the red herring and who's really the killer? It's not Betty. It's a little tip for you.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to recap before we're done here.
Okay, hit it.
5 things, if you watch like a maniac, find the answers to these questions. Why are Rose's cat's feet so freaky? 3 signs that you may be a nerd if you live in Midsomer.
1, 2, 3.
A punny name for an Irish musical review.
Watch the background.
Which dancer is also an inspector?
Also an inspector.
And finally, what kind of pajamas do middle-aged women wear in Midsomer?
The key you should be looking for is Jim Jams, which is just so much fun to say.
They're not pajamas, which is an Indian word, by the way.
Yes.
Not a Native American Indian, but an Indian subcontinent word.
Unlike Chinook.
Which is a Native American word.
Yes.
Oh, did he yell at the TV? Chinook, 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 Chinook.
Okay, Maniacs. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoy this mini episode. And we'll be back each week with one of these mini episodes for the next 3 weeks, covering the new episodes for season 21. I think one thing we should do is when we get to season 21, we should re-listen to these episodes.
Yeah.
Be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that was us.
Rose's cat's feet are so freaky.
Anyway.
Freaky feet.
Yes. Anyway, episode 20 drops on Monday. It's the 9th of December. And that is Market for Murder. Also, we are on Instagram at Midsomer Maniacs and Twitter at Midsomer Maniacs. And our email address is midsummermaniacs@gmail.com. Keep all those cards and letters coming because they're awesome. We read them to each other all the time, and we love to hear what you think about the show.
Drop us a comment. Maybe we should keep a tally of who is the best maniac over these 3 new episodes. Who gets the
Maybe.
most maniac points?
Maybe we'll deal out some maniac points.
All right.
Okay, maniacs.
Until next time. Bye, maniacs.
Bye, maniacs.
The company's name is Paradisum.
You
It
want
just made me think of perineum.
perineum?
And that's a different kind of robot.
Exactly. Let me
Ooh.
get this recording here.
A perineum robot would be unpleasant.